European countries often arrest and punish people for crossing the Mediterranean Sea and for driving boats. This leads to more dangerous journeys and for the violation of human rights. Do you know that the people accused of boat driving are at risk of spending 5 to 30 years in prison, even if you didn't drive the boat and even if the witnesses are lying? In this video, we will provide information about the different ways in which people on the move are criminalized for driving boats, what are their rights, and how to get legal support. Everyone traveling on a boat could end up driving it, holding the steering wheel, or being accused of doing so, because you were asked to be the captain, or you were forced to drive, or an emergency situation arose, or any other reason. Did you know that people arrested for boat driving can be accused of forcing or helping other people to illegally cross a border, or of having caused a shipwreck? Boat drivers can be identified in many ways. The person who drove the boat can be identified with pictures taken from the air or during the rescue. You can be accused of boat driving because you hold the engine or because you took an active role on the boat. Many people step away from the motor when an airplane or a drone flies above them. Stepping away from the motor is very dangerous as it could cause an accident. Often, people who don't want to be identified change their clothes before their arrival or before the rescue. Others cover themselves under a tarp. Most of the time, boat drivers are identified through witness testimonies. There have been cases in which no one was accused because of the group solidarity. All the people said they didn't know who drove the boat, or they said that everyone drove the boat. After rescue by authorities, or after arrival, people on board are asked to tell who was the boat driver. Authorities try to get testimonies by dividing the group by nationality or trying to put people against each other. They might use violence or promise benefits. The police might promise shelter, schooling, or the possibility to request asylum if you collaborate and say who was the driver. But everyone has the right to request asylum, and it doesn't matter if you're accepted to become a witness or not. People are often questioned just after they disembark, when they are exhausted, confused, and still processing what happened during the journey. It's very important that you know your rights during questioning. The Coast Guard and the police don't have the right to use violence and pressure to get a witness. You have the right to refuse to speak if you don't have a lawyer. You have the right to speak in the presence of a lawyer, and they can't force you to say anything without your lawyer. You have the right to request translation into a language that you understand well. They can't force you to say anything without a good translation. Even when you are on trial, you have the right to refuse to sign a document that you don't understand, or even block the hearing in court if you don't have a good translation. Don't sign any document if you haven't understood the content of that document very well. If you got arrested, you have the right to speak to your lawyer immediately. Request asylum even when you are in prison. Make at least one phone call or let someone know that you are in prison. In Greece, you might be told that you have to pay to make a phone call, but this is not true. If you see one person from your boat getting arrested, you could try to find out their full name, nationality, and birth date, a contact to a family member, and the police station, detention center, or prison the person was taken to. Or at least some of this information. People who get arrested and charged with serious crimes Get a state appointed lawyer, who often has no time or is not interested in defending the person. To organize an alternative legal support, it would be good if everyone on the boat gave their full name, nationality, and birth date to a friend or a relative on the boat or on the land before starting the journey, so that it's easier to reach people who were arrested. If you want to organize legal support for yourself, friends, or relatives, you can contact Captain Support Facebook page, where you will be supported with finding legal aid. Everyone should be able to migrate, escape, and live wherever they wish. Let's keep fighting for a world without borders and for freedom of movement for all.